First of all, I don't like it. So that's already a little misunderstanding.
Hey, Mark, thank you so much for being here on Gym Rock Crew.
Thank you for having me.
Right, so we're going to start with some quick fire questions. You ready?
I'm ready. More than ready. With coffee.
Your top 3 bands on your workout playlist.
Led Zeppelin. I listen a lot to Led Zeppelin. Megadeth and Dream Theater.
Awesome. Your favorite exercise and why?
Yeah, I don't really have one favorite. My big advantage of myself, I guess, is that I like everything, but not everything every day. So I do a lot of variations. The variation is what keeps me happy. For example, one exercise that I could enjoy, I would not enjoy it if I have to do it too often. But if I have to pick one, would be training the chest.
Okay.
Yeah.
What about your least favorite exercise?
Legs.
Yeah.
Like most of the people. I mean, most of the men I've found from what I know.
Yes.
Because many girls actually do love train the legs.
Yeah.
But for me, it's like I train already my legs when I do run and cycling. So I don't really enjoy it also training it in the gym. Therefore, I sometimes skip leg day.
I hope that's just sometimes.
Yeah, it's because my girlfriend and I, we have quite some tools at home and some machines. And there's a lot of leg machines because she was in charge of getting also these machines. So I'm forced to do them.
Good on her.
Yeah.
So let's get into the big questions then. What do you do for fitness in your normal life when you're not on tour?
When I'm not on tour, and that's the advantage of having a lot of equipment at home, I can do it whenever I want. That's for me a big advantage because whenever I have like 1 hour time in between of some work, I can easily hit the gym, so to say. And in the past that was more difficult because then you have to pack your stuff, go to the gym, get ready, and that takes always like at least 45 minutes extra. And sometimes you simply don't have that time on a busy day. So nowadays I can do like usually sport like 6 times a week. Not everything is gym. Sometimes it's running, cycling, the variation again. I don't like schedules. I do whatever I feel like doing. So when that day the sun is shining and it's a beautiful day without much wind, I go cycling, for example. If there's a rainy day, I do some gym sessions. Whatever fits best to my desires and to the weather.
I saw a video of you doing seated rows. Was that in your home gym?
Yeah, that's in my home gym.
Wow, so you have that machine there as well.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, the advantage was when there was COVID, the COVID times, there was a lot of gyms that were selling some equipment for unfortunate reasons because there were not many people coming anymore because it was closed. Yeah. But the advantage for me was I could get a lot of equipment for relatively low price. So whatever I could get at the time, I got it and I put it all in my basement. That's one of them.
That's so cool. Do you have like barbells and plates and all of that?
Yeah, all of that stuff as well. Yeah.
I'm so jealous, so jealous.
I'm lucky with that because, yeah, like I said, it makes my life so much easier.
So many benefits to just having a home gym. Like you don't even have to dress up. You can, I mean, for guys it's different, but for women, like it's...
Yeah, and in Sicily it can sometimes be like 40 degrees and then it's very hot. So even if you cool down the room a bit, it's still hot. So yeah, when you're at home, you can do shirtless. When you're in the gym, yeah, you have to whenever it's hot, you have to still suffer even more.
Totally. Okay, so with weightlifting, I know there's a lot of guitarists who are hesitant to lift weights because of the grip and forearm and they're concerned. How does lifting weights impact your guitar playing?
I didn't notice any differences. I guess some guys there who are really extremely big and lift extremely heavy weights, these guys maybe suffer from it, but that's not my case. I'm not Arnold Schwarzenegger, so I'm also not lifting Arnold Schwarzenegger weights. So I never noticed any differences, fortunately.
Okay, yeah. How has weightlifting affected your stage performances, whether good or bad?
I think for the good, because it gives you even more confidence. So I think it's a good thing to do. First of all, for the health, but secondly, in the metal, people also watch how you look. That's already something from the past. The metal bands, some guys working out. The artists I was looking up to, they were working out, and now I do it myself. So it gives you some extra confidence, I guess.
Zakk Wylde, he lifts pretty heavy. I don't know if he's still lifting heavy, but I mean, I would love to get him on an interview and ask him.
Yeah, and like John Petrucci, I think he also started to lift heavy weights, and he's extremely fast guitar player. So I would also be curious to hear from him if it affected him in any way.
Yeah, well, if I get him on an interview, I'll let you know.
Okay, cool.
So you had a tour in UK last year in January, and you ran, I believe, in every city on that tour.
Yeah.
What else do you do to stay fit on tour?
Yeah, that was the tour we did with Apocalyptica, and my challenge for the whole tour was to run in every city where we played 10 kilometers, and I managed. Luckily, it was at certain points a bit heavy, I must say. But yeah, once you start a challenge, then you want to finish it. But I noticed when there was like 4 shows in a row, and I had to do 4 runs in a row, like the fourth day, I would really have to manage my day very well, because the run and the show for the fourth time in a row, that was a bit much at times. But yeah, when you have a good balance between a slower pace for the run and the show itself, then it was all manageable. So some tours I do like that, but some other tours, like when we play in South America, we have more like hotels, and then there's gyms in hotels. Then I go more often to the gym. So it depends also on the tour, whatever is available. It's always very easy to bring some shoes with you, some running shoes. You can go running everywhere. The only problem is sometimes the safety in some neighborhoods, because I always end up also in the wrong neighborhood somehow. But never anything has happened to me, so I'm also fortunate.
I think it's cool that you understand your body enough to pace yourself for tours and the amount of exertion you're going to need for the stage performances, and then manage your workouts or anything after that.
Yeah, you learn to listen to your body, and especially when you grow older, it becomes even more important to listen very well to the signals of your body. When you're young, you can do whatever you want, and I still feel young, I must say, but I'm older than I was before. And nowadays I really listen to very well to all the signals. So whenever I have a training planned for the evening, but I feel extremely tired, I prefer to sleep well and train harder the next day, instead of do a half training while being tired and the next day being even more tired. That doesn't make sense.
No, this is one of the things I learned when I crossed 40 as well. Your recovery is so important.
Yes, very important. Much more important than before.
Exactly.
Yeah. And the thing I must say is that nowadays I'm almost never injured anymore. While in the past, when I was young, I was more often injured. While usually it's the other way around for many people.
Yeah.
So I think it's because of the listening to the body.
It's because of that, yeah. I noticed from your profile that you like jumping into icy cold water and snow.
Yeah.
Please tell us why and what are the benefits of that?
Now, first of all, I don't like it. So that's already a little misunderstanding. I do it because I discovered all the benefits and I like the results. But the actual thing, every time I go into the ice or the cold water or the snow, it's a moment the body goes into a protection mode because it doesn't like what's happening. But then at some point, after like 30 seconds, usually you start feeling at ease, and then it turns around the feeling, and then you start feeling very comfortable. And once you get out of it, you feel like reborn. Every time again. Wim Hof, the guy who brought this idea to the world, of course it existed already, but he made many people aware of it. He said it's kind of a natural drug, because I've always been a guy, I don't like drugs. Nowadays I even don't drink alcohol anymore, but I like, of course, to feel good, and this is a natural way to feel like you're on something. He always calls it get high on your own supply. And that's how it is.
I love it.
Yeah, it's always an amazing feeling.
Oh my God, I've got to try it.
You have to.
I went with my partner to Iceland. He jumped into the water like it was freaking freezing. And I was like, there is no way in hell I'm going to do that. But, there's a lot of benefits. And a lot of sports people, athletes use cold therapy. So
yeah, because for many people it's also beneficial for the health to do the cold. But for me personally, it's more the feeling, because I did also like 1 year ago a DNA test, what things works well for me personally. And the coldness exposure didn't do so much for recovery for me in my personal case, which was a bit disappointing for me.
Yeah.
Because I do it already so often.
Considering you've done so much.
Yeah. So for recovery, for me, it doesn't do much. But all the other benefits, that I love them. So I keep doing it.
I'm going to try it. You've convinced me.
Yeah, and you can always do it after a sauna first, and it's a bit easier because then the body is very warm and you really desire the cold. When you go out of the blue right away into the ice, that can be quite a big step for the first time.
Yeah.
So try gradually, but Anyway, it's always this uncomfortable the first
Yeah.
times.
I've learned in life you've got to do the hard things. Those are the things that are actually good for you. So
Yeah, give it a
cool.
try.
I will. I will. I promise. I promise. When you're touring, you're going from hot to cold, different weather conditions, different time zones. How do you prevent yourself from getting sick or exhausted?
Yeah, and that's also a big benefit of the coldness exposure. When you do that, I hardly ever get sick anymore. While in the past, like 15, 20 years ago, I used to get the flu like 3 times a year. Very annoying. Every time on tour, then some sleep deficiencies, getting sick, and then having to perform anyway. It was terrible. Then I started looking for natural ways to boost my immune system, and that's how I got to this coldness exposure therapy. And for me that worked really well. So whenever on tour, whenever there's coldness, suddenly warm, it doesn't affect me anymore. So I can sing wherever. I can walk outside from stage where it's 40 degrees, suddenly outside 10 degrees in t-shirt, and don't get sick anymore. That's a very, very big advantage.
You're aging in reverse. You're not getting sick. You're recovering faster. You're not getting
Yes.
injured.
Yeah, all these things. So yeah, it's really, I don't know if everything is because of the coldness therapy and the ice baths, but it definitely adds up to it.
Yeah.
Everybody who starts doing it says it really helps them one way or the
Yeah.
other.
They say hot and cold showers, alternating that is really good for your skin and cellulite and circulation. But
Yeah.
this is like a whole new level now.
Yeah, and when you do also the showers, like warm and cold, it's always good to end on cold because then you have the most benefits from it. Because some people do hot, cold, and then end on warm to feel
Yes,
comfortable.
yes.
But actually, it's better to end on cold.
Awesome. So what else have you done then to improve your immunity, your immune system?
Other things, what I do is that I never take medications for anything. I always try to solve it the natural way. So when I have a headache, I take a tea rather than aspirin. So I never grab the chemical option. And so I'm already like at least 4 years without any medicine. So for me, even an aspirin is a medicine. I don't say that medicines are bad because for whenever it works, for people it's amazing, of course. But often you take medicine for something and it causes you two new problems, and then you take medicines from that. And so for me, I try to go completely without.
Yeah.
And I think in the end, that's also very beneficial. The pharmaceutical industry will not be happy to hear that.
Nope.
But I think whenever you can, skip it.
No, I'm with you on that. Always try to solve it the natural way.
Yeah, and if it's not possible, you still can take a chemical option, of course.
I saw someone who posted on Facebook a while ago that they were sick. They posted what they were taking when they were sick, and it was just a whole bunch of medicines and stuff. And I'm like, where's the lemon and the ginger and the natural, the teas and all of that stuff? So people get hooked onto that stuff.
Yeah, that's very sad to see. I see that too. And people grab it like candies. Also like sleep medications. People cannot sleep. When I cannot sleep, I always put like chakra meditation, a guided meditation on my headphones, and I drift off. So that works very well because I used to be also an overthinker. So when I was in bed, I started thinking about all the things I have to do, and then you cannot sleep anymore. Yeah. So also that I had to solve some way, somehow. And for me, it was really good to start listening to calming music and guided meditations.
Meditation as well. So many benefits to that. It can literally change things in your body, like physically make it better.
Yes, because the mind and body are connected.
Exactly. Yeah. Cool. I'm really enjoying this.
Me too. Minds who think alike, that's always good.
Yeah. Do you carry certain things with you or certain essentials on tour apart from your meditation app?
Yeah, that meditation app is it, and I carry earplugs, so the sleep fits. So whenever in hotels, I'm a light sleeper, so when there's some noise, I used to wake up easily. But now I put these earplugs, no problem whatsoever anymore. So for everything, I looked for that natural way to solve it, and for everything, I found something. So there's always something to be found.
So that is the secret.
Yeah,
for
me at least.
Reverse.
To look always for a solution the natural way. So I also don't carry anything on tour with me. I eat whatever is available. I try to eat as healthy as possible, that's for sure. But for example, if somebody cooks for me, I don't want to be the guy like, I have to eat today this kind of amount of proteins. I just go with the flow. The only thing I do is I sometimes say no to the dessert, because when it has a lot of sugar and I don't work out after, it can make me feel bad, literally. I cannot stand much sugar when I don't actually sport afterwards.
There's a reason why they suggest having sugar and carbs around physical activity, because if you're just going to eat like a big high carb meal and then just sit down, it doesn't make sense. It's going to really make you feel bad.
Yeah, you really, at least and that was also shown in the DNA test what I did, that sugar is already not good for many people, but especially not for me. So there was a confirmation for me to see that, okay, it's actually really not good for me, unless I do endurance sports, because then you use it right away and then it's perfect.
Yeah, makes sense. So what then is your favorite cheat meal or guilty pleasure?
Let's see. M&M's.
The wrapper? Sorry, that was a dumb joke. M&Ms I love because of the peanut.
Yeah, I love to. And that's also a lot of sugar, for sure.
Yeah.
So
yeah. Well, it's a guilty pleasure.
It's a guilty pleasure, yeah, definitely.
Do you smoke? I think you mentioned a little bit about drugs.
I'm the only one in my family already when I was a kid that was not smoking. I always was a bit different than everybody, so also with that. I never liked it, didn't like already the smell of it. And I also thought, why should I start with it while it's obviously not good for you? So I never started. I still cannot stand the smell of it. I always want to be polite when people around are smoking, but I really cannot stand the smell.
No, I hear you. I have someone passing me on the street and smoking. I cannot breathe. Like, it's disgusting.
Yeah, these people, they probably cannot imagine, because for them it's so a natural smell, becomes such a natural thing. But for people who don't smoke, it's really, really bad, the smell.
Yeah, I agree. Do you have any rules around drinking alcohol on tour?
Yeah, we also don't want any alcohol before the show as a band. That's a policy that we created. Also, when you grow older as people, you have to be even more professional in order to have a good performance. And so we said to each other, let's have a non-alcoholic policy before the show. And after the show, everybody can do whatever they want. That works pretty well. Personally, I skipped on the alcohol already since my girlfriend was pregnant. So like once in 3 months, I drink 1 glass just to enjoy one time, something to celebrate or something for New Year or when there's a birthday. But that's it. 1 glass in like 3 months. For me, it's easy to just keep it like that, because some people, they have to drink 0. Otherwise, if they do 1 glass, they start it and then they go all the way again. But for me, it's not like that. I can drink 1 glass and then 3 months, nothing again.
So you're in control of that, basically.
Yeah.
Okay, so being in the rock and metal industry, we've lost a lot of great musicians to drugs and alcohol. Do you feel like you're an outcast, or that the industry is changing?
Yeah, I have the feeling it's changing, because in the past, I think these bands were all the time on drugs, like in the 70s. At least it seemed like that, and drunk all the time, like the Doors, when you saw Jim Morrison completely wasted on stage. Yeah. And back in the days, it was like considered to be cool, you know. But nowadays, I have the feeling if you are completely wasted on stage, fans are not going to like that, because they pay a ticket. They want to see a good show and not some kind of drunk, completely ruining a show. So I think the bands who are in control and who are delivering a professional show, these are the bands that are still around. And of course, there are some exceptions here and there. But in general, I see really that it has changed a lot, and that nowadays bands, for them, it's very important that everybody is delivering. So that's a good thing.
Absolutely. And we want them to stay around longer.
And also, and of course, like I said, there are some exceptions and we lost some people. And that's very sad, especially when they know they had that problem of drinking and they made the conscious decision, okay, I'm going to drink myself to death because I don't see a way out anymore. And that's very sad to see, because there are many talented musicians that we lost this way.
But it's good to see that things are turning around. In fact, everyone I've interviewed here has said that they've noticed this shift in the industry. So that's good.
Oh, so others, they see it too. Yeah, it's quite obvious. Yeah.
I might only be interviewing the healthy and fit musicians. I don't know.
No, but I see it. We tour with many bands, and I see also other musicians, how they prepare for the show, and it's a general thing.
Okay, so you perform a variety of sports. So there's running, hiking, biking, weightlifting. What else?
And swimming. I really enjoy swimming as well.
In icy cold water.
Yeah, the thing is, I basically go into the water every day when I'm at home. Every morning I wake up and I go outside and I jump in the water. Then I'm awake.
Wow.
But actual swimming I do when the water is at least 10 degrees. When it's below 10, even for me, swimming is a bit too cold. I can sit in the below 10, just sit and stay still. But the actual swimming, when it's below 10 degrees, it's really amazingly cold, because then you're moving and you feel even more cold.
5 degrees. Let's go. Lovely.
So what is one sport that you've always wanted to try and you have not tried yet?
Skiing.
Skiing?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You're actually close to a lot of ski places, right?
Yeah, there are, for example, in Sicily, there are on the Etna, you can do some skiing. But the amount of snow is getting less because of the global warming.
Global warming.
Yeah, so there's less snow now in Sicily. So I don't know for how long you can still actually ski there, but we will see.
So now you've got to make that a short-term goal, like very quickly.
Or do it somewhere else. But also the thing is, skiing, I'm sure I would have enjoyed it a lot, but I'm not missing it of not doing it. There's so many other things that I enjoy. So if I never get to ski, that's fine. Because yeah, you first have to learn it, of course. And many people who start learning it, they break a leg. People who go skiing off-route, like Michael Schumacher, then anything can happen.
Yes. If you could choose one person to work out with, dead or alive, who would it be and why?
Then we come back to the good old Arnold Schwarzenegger.
All right, everyone, chill.
You're the third person I've interviewed and all three have said Arnold.
Yeah, because let's be honest, this guy is the perfect example of the best physique. And when I was a kid, I was already watching Arnold Schwarzenegger movies. And he had this book with all kinds of workouts that you could do when you're traveling. So I was doing these workouts that he had in his book. For me, also a big example. And of course, like I said before, I don't have the physique to become an Arnold Schwarzenegger. And that's not my goal because I like endurance sports too much. So I try to have something that works for both ways. But absolutely, I would choose him to do a workout session with.
Well, I have two brothers and we grew up on his movies. And my brother gave me that book that you're talking about as well.
Nice.
Yeah. I love Arnold. I absolutely love him. He's on my list as well.
Yeah. And he seems to be such a friendly guy as well.
And fun as well.
And
like
funny.
He's hilarious.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Allow me to break the ice. My name is Freeze.
Do you have anything you want to add?
No, I think we covered everything pretty well. The only thing I want to add is that for me, also personally, I always try to motivate people to live as healthy as possible without telling anybody what to do, because I also don't like when anybody tells me to do things in a certain way because it has to be done that way. Everybody has to live their life the way they want to do. But if you can enrich your life with a healthier lifestyle, I think it's for everybody beneficial. That can be food-wise, drinking-wise. The only thing I can add is that I drink a lot of water during the day, and that helps me also a lot. My only guilty pleasure also is the cup of coffee.
How many cups are we talking?
3 coffees a day.
Yeah, apparently over 4 is considered like a little bit dangerous, but I think up to 4 is good.
Yeah, I'm not
You're safe.
too much. There's some days when I have to do a lot of work. When I'm tired, it can be 4 or 5, but then I am already start feeling a bit nervous after the 5th. That's not for me. I think it's too much for everything is not good.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Mark. I think it's so cool to see such a great musician promoting health and fitness, so keep crushing.
Thank you so much. And enjoy the ice bath.
I don't know if I'll enjoy it, but I'm definitely trying it.